All right, the next step is to install the backlight bracket, and we're going to use these two brackets. One goes on top, one goes on bottom, and then we'll attach the actual light, the lights or the light ballast to the unit. So they're going to go like this. Okay, and then we'll do one on the bottom facing upward, and then we'll use I believe it's 8 screws to actually attach the light to the light bracket. So we're going to get started with this. This is going to use 2 on top and 2 on bottom, and we are staying with stainless steel, the bolts, stainless steel washers, and the stainless steel acorn nuts. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started on that. One started. We'll just get those hand tight for now, and we're going to go down to the bottom and do the second one. We're probably going to have to drill. Again, in the manual it says you may have to drill out to match the holes to the panel due to the manufacturing process. So it's just barely off, and I don't want to rip the threads by just hammering it through. So I'm going to take my drill and just drill it out a little bit. We'll see if it works. Okay, that looks good. We're going to go like that. Actually, let me see if the other one goes through first before I do that. Okay, should be good to go. Let me see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put our bracket on. Second one. What I do to get them hand tight is I'm pulling and turning, because the bolt on the other side will turn. So I'm pulling it against the plastic, and then I'm turning the nut so it can just kind of give it that torque that it needs just to get a little bit hand tight. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just pulling and turning just to get it nice and snug. So we're going to tighten these up just hand tight until they stop, and then that's pretty much it. And they just want to go just slight. Not too much, because you don't want to crack the acrylic. Now 3/16. Looks like it's 3/16 inch thick. Yeah. So it is 3/16 inch thick acrylic, but still you don't want to put too much tension on it, and then it'll crack it. But we'll be back, and then we'll show you the next step. All right. I know questions may be asked, because this can be done. This can be done with one person. You just have to kind of think outside the box a little bit and use an imaginary second person's hands. So let me show you how I've been doing like the bottom ones, because the front of the washout booth extends out, and if you don't have long arms, it's hard to reach, front and back. So let me show you what I did, especially on the bottom ones, and then even those down there, those 4 bottom ones. I basically took a wrench and I put it, I know I'm tightening on the other side this way, so the wrench is going to go down that way. So I put it down to the very bottom, and then I just held it in place with my drill, and then I started tightening on the back side, and then this will hit down here at the bottom. So it won't make any dents or anything because you're not trying to put too much pressure onto it, but it will get it nice and tight, and you don't want to go too tight on this plexiglass anyway. This is going to be a stationary, it's not going to be a mobile type thing, so you're not going to have to crank it down as much as you think you would. So that's pretty much all I did, is I just put it on there, and then I just held it in place with like a drill or something, piece of wood, whatever, just to give it some weight to hold it, so that when you start screwing it in, it doesn't fall off. That's how I did it. I mean, if you have other ways to do it, that's fine, but that's just how I did it on that side. And I did that as well for the corners over here, because like I said, this here is pretty deep, so reaching one hand around and the other one on the other side may be difficult for some people. For me, I got T-Rex arms, so you just have to get creative and use a helper. I wanted to do it like this because I wanted to show you that it can be done with one person, so that's what we're doing, and I'm going to try as hard as I can to do it with one person and one person only. So that is pretty much it for that. Next is we're going to install the backlight. So I'm going to get the hardware and everything set up, and then we'll come back for the next step.